Alright, fourth episode of the season. It's a Darin Morgan episode. Darin Morgan's an amazing writer, has written awesome episodes of The X-Files, often super funny, really unique, very clever. The episode starts off in super typical Darin Morgan fashion. Black and white, super odd, some guy freaking out about the end of the world, an alien invasion. Seems to be kind of reminiscent of The Twilight Zone. The campy nature of this episode is already off the charts from the very beginning. I'm on board. Mulder comes in and he's in a giant swamp monster costume, and Scully calls him on the phone and he says that he's just been out squatchin.
Was out squatching.
Squatchin, just getting my squatch on. Like, all right, Mulder. Actually, super cute though. They're on the phone and they're talking. Scully says, "Are we still on for dinner? Y'all going on a date? Is that what that's about?" And then Mulder tries to tell her the story about how he found his Bigfoot footprint. And she's like, "Yeah, Mulder, I get it. You've told me like 800 times." I'm envisioning all the times that Mulder has tried to tell Scully about this print, like in bed together. And he's like, "Hey, Scully, remember that time?" Shut the fuck up. So she basically does that and hangs up the phone. Then Mulder heads to this parking garage and there's sunflower seeds. Like I said, this season's doing a really good job of incorporating old X-Files callbacks without being like, "Hey, here's an X-Files callback." And then this crazy guy approaches him and he's going on and on and on about the Twilight Zone. Then he's just gone. All right, we're back at the Unremarkable house and Mulder is digging through his Twilight Zone tapes. He's trying to find his first ever episode of the Twilight Zone. And all I can think is, like, Mulder, you're really fucking up your date with Scully. She's wearing jeans and this bomber jacket. Mulder looks amazing. Like, he's wearing this t-shirt and he's got some stubble. You guys look great. This would be a great date if you would pay attention to Scully instead of digging through your VHS's, Mulder. But no, continue to fuck it up, please. We're having whiskey tonight, ladies and gents. Whoops. Anyway, they both look so amazing, and yet we're getting weird flashbacks of Mulder as a child with David's now, what, 57-year-old head photoshopped onto like a 9-year-old boy. Disturbing to say the least. And after that, Scully just like fucking hits the road, and you know what? I don't blame her. Peace! Poor girl looks so good and she's getting rejected for Twilight Zone, and she even brought the food. Like, Mulder, get it together! Anyway, creepy guy approaches her in the parking garage too, and he calls her Skulls multiple times. Like,
what gave it away, Skulls?
Skulls is a great nickname, and I can't really pay attention to what he's talking about because like Skulls is so funny.
Skulls? Look, I can prove it.
I'm armed.
Listen, buddy. I know you think that you can call me Skulls, but like, I've got a gun. Step off. And then he hands her a box of like goop. Sure, it's jello, but it's called goop. Like, all right. Poof, gone. Like, this guy just likes to appear in parking garages and then say a bunch of crazy shit and then just, how are you pulling that trick, bro? This is the point in the vlog where I just mentioned that Scully's hair looks amazing. It looks so amazing that this just deserves to be said every vlog. Everyone just needs to be aware that when the first episode airs with the short wig, I'm going to lose my shit because the long-haired wig looks so good. Now we're in the office and Scully's got her feet propped up against the desk and Mulder's like leaning up against the wall or let's get it on. I mean, at some point Scully says the words leprechaun taint.
Lemon lime tastes like leprechaun taint.
Why? They're just so cute. They both got their legs up on the desk now and they're like bantering back and forth and I'm just like, God damn it, you guys. And Mulder's telling her that he's gonna meet up with this mystery guy.
But that's your secret rendezvous signal. I don't want to intrude.
Come on, it'll be like a date.
Why don't you guys go on an actual date instead of this parking garage bullshit? Cut to Scully being disappointed in their date, as am I, and she's just like, oh, isn't this romantic? You should have taken her somewhere better, Mulder. You guys have been at this for how many years? Have you ever taken this woman on a good date? It sort of just seems like you take her to shitty motels and parking garages and like look at her and suddenly like that's a date. What? No, not a date. Dana Scully deserves better. Guys, I'm a little drunk. So yeah, they're on a date waiting in a car to meet a psycho. Great date. Then they get out of the car and they start talking to this guy, Reggie Something, and they're talking about the Mandela Effect forever and how it's manipulated by the government in order to control things and have power. And like, yeah, that's a cool concept. Anyone who's into weird stuff has heard of this and knows a lot about it. And I'm not saying that it's not worth explaining, but I feel like this episode explained it to a tiring degree. Maybe it's just me. Do you guys know about the Mandela Effect? I need to know for science. So then Mulder offers up his parallel universe theory. They're just both like so crazy. Can you believe how crazy he sounds? It's not parallel universes, Mulder. Then Reggie gives Mulder and Scully a picture of this guy called Dr. They and then shows him a video or like whatever. Honestly, I don't know at this point. This guy's a psycho still. And the scene is never ever gonna end. He like gives them a letter, and the cool thing about the letter is that it has a Grenada UFO stamp on it. Cool. And I love Darin Morgan, but this shit is just getting strange at this point. We go to a flashback. There's this UFO that has crashed off the coast of Grenada and an alien body was recovered, but it wasn't dead. They show a hospital scene with the alien body and it looks the same as the alien from the Twilight Zone, and it's just like super campy and over the top. I really love Darin Morgan, but I'm kind of like beginning to question the episode a little bit because I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? I'm just confused at this point as to what I'm supposed to be getting out of all of this. The great and ingenious thing about most Darin Morgan scripts, unique vibe and sense of humor, and this just sort of seems like a big joke. So basically after all this bullshit, Scully like wipes her hands and is like, I'm out, boys. And I'm like, you know what? Girl power, me too, motherfucker. But hold up. Then this guy asserts that he started the X-Files with Mulder and Scully, and at least I'm like, well, I guess there's something to care about. So then we go to commercial and it comes back to the X-Files intro sung like a cappella, and then this guy is Reggie Something. I'm sorry, but that shit is like really fucking funny. Yes. And then there's this montage, baby Fox Mulder and baby Dana Scully from like the pilot. Oh my god, they're babies. Reggie is there.
Move along, sugar boobs.
Spank Bank, tasty little redhead, Leprechaun taint, sugar boobs. What the fuck is going on this season, you guys? Then all of these henchmen are chasing after Mulder and Scully and Reggie because of course they're still in this goddamn parking garage. Turns out the henchmen are actually FBI. Oh my god, you guys are legends. How did you not catch that guy? And first of all, this is a thing that always happens in X-Files fanfic. There's always some other FBI detectives that are like, oh my god, Mulder and Scully are legends. Like, do you hear that they're totally fucking? It's just like a tiny detail that just really is convincing me that someone is slipping these writers some fanfic. There's no other explanation for it. So then of course Mulder has a mental breakdown in the parking garage and starts shouting at the guys and he's like, I'm Fox Mulder, and he just like keeps shouting it. I thought it would be funnier than it was because it was in the promos, but like this time around I was just like, oh my god, Mulder, shut up. I'm just saying that the male ego might be fragile because Mulder had an entire mental breakdown over being called fat. This slight mental breakdown carries over into the office where he's like at the board pinning stuff and like trying to figure out like, oh god, like, oh, Mandela Effect. You know what? This is me trying to figure out why the two of you are not having sex right now. I know my brand, and my brand is just wondering why Mulder and Scully aren't having sex at any given moment. This is one of those moments. Then Dr. They calls them up and Mulder goes and meets him at this creepy statue park. I have a photo from this creepy statue park. Insert photo. Guess what? The statues are super duper creepy. It is a weird place to film a scene. It is a weird place to go and visit. Do not go there. It's weird. I did not like the statue part. Also, whoever did Dr. They's makeup seriously needs their makeup license removed. Fucking purple all over his, like, it doesn't even look like he's like, you know, old or like villainous, like being in the dark and I've got some dark circles and sunken eyes. Like, no, it just looks like you like went ham on the eyeshadow and it just went everywhere. Also, Darin Morgan, I hate to say, has clearly aged.
And no doubt the kids will come up with some catchphrase for it. Poco or something else.
Oh, those kids today are gonna call it Poco Sobo hashtag We're getting too old to write clever things anymore. And then Dr. They leaves Mulder looking as confused as I feel. So it's 8:50 and I'm beginning to wonder, what is the point of this episode, and will Mulder and Scully ever go on a date? Back in the parking garage, and then whoop, Scully appears like leaning up against a pillar, like with a folder spread out, and she just answers all of my questions. She's like, Reggie, you're a psycho. You've been in public service forever. You done fucked up forever. You got hit in the head with a shovel. You ended up in a mental institution. Relatable. So now I guess the point of the episode is that Mulder and Scully entertained a psycho for an entire hour. And so did we, yay! And Reggie's like, yeah, wow, I guess you're right, I am insane. And he leaves in this ridiculous mental hospital getup. And I just wanna say, there's a part of me that this doesn't sit quite well with. Modern society in general, but like, I feel like our nation has a problem with like mental health and addressing mental health, and they just like show up in this like cartoonish looking crazy mobile and slap him in a straitjacket. I don't know. I know it's supposed to be a funny episode, but there's part of me that's like, really? Come on. The whole point of the episode is listening to a crazy guy and then watching him get into a crazy mobile and slapped up in a straitjacket. Darin, you are better than that. They've even got a giant net. Like, what are you gonna do with that net? He's gonna run away and you're gonna butterfly net that guy and like reel him back in. Like, I don't think that's how it happens. But before he goes entirely, they're like, oh, what was our last case together, Reggie? And it goes to a flashback about how they found a UFO and the aliens came out on a Segway and coincidentally are dressed like Elvis. But then there's a speech by the alien that maybe redeems the entire episode because it has to do with a certain person who is in charge of our country, and it is hilarious.
We are building a wall. It will be a beautiful, albeit invisible, electromagnetic wall that will subatomically incinerate.
The aliens are like, thanks but no thanks, we don't want your kind, move along. Cheers to the aliens wanting nothing to do with us, because guess what? I don't want anything to do with us either. So apparently that's the truth that was out there. I'm like shockingly okay with it. So then as the alien is going back up into the UFO, his Segway or something says, bing, bing, bong, bong, bing. Where did Jillian say this? Didn't she say that? And we were all like, Jillian, did you just have a stroke? I know she said it in an interview and all of us thought she was psychotic. Now this is really funny that this is the one line that she decided to remember.
Bing, bing, bong, bong, bing.
When someone asked her a question, tell us something about like the new season, she was like, bing, bing, bong, bong, bing. So then Mulder and Scully are back at the Unremarkable house and I'm like, oh my god, finally, their date. She's about to like eat the jello and then puts it down and she's like, I just want to remember the way things were. Oh my god, they're gonna kiss. They're gonna kiss. Kiss, 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 kiss. But guess what? They don't kiss because this is the X-Files and we get nothing. We just get like a nice little pan up while they just like look at each other, and I'm like, all right, that's fucking cute, but like it would be cuter if you kissed. And also I think it's like very reminiscent about how we all just want to remember how things were. Little X-Files days, like when Darin Morgan wrote like really funny and ingenious scripts instead of just like weirdly entertaining us for an hour with a psycho. Sorry to hate on you, Darin, but like this was not your best work. All in all, this episode had its pluses and its minuses. If anything, I am just so blessed and grateful that they got the dynamic between Mulder and Scully so much better than like season 10 barely even had Mulder and Scully like existing in the same scene, in the same room. I feel blessed, everything's great. This episode was fine, I'll take it. As always, thanks for watching. Check out last week's if you haven't seen it already, or subscribe. Cheers to you guys. I hope that you are drinking as much as I am during these episodes because let's be real, I've been getting lit.